Hey crafty friends, today we are going to work on an angled gatefold. Now we were just reminded of this card because we received this beautiful gatefold from one of our crafty friends, Carol, and we just appreciated it so much. Look how beautiful this is. It's just gorgeous. And so we remembered that we had done an angled gatefold as well. Now what's so great about these cards is number one, it's a gatefold. Number two, there are 4 cut lines, and then you add your decoration. Easy peasy. Let's get started. The first thing we need to do is go ahead and take our 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and we are going to cut it on this short side at 5.5. Now I want to remind you, you don't need to copy down all these dimensions because we are going to have all the dimensions over on our website at creativemomentsbyg.com under my blog. Now make sure that you stay with us because we have a little surprise for you at the end of this video. So we cut our cardstock. Now because we have this already, we are going to just put it in at 1 and we're going to cut that as well. Now that will be for our belly band. So we're just going to put this to the side right now, just right up there. We want to go ahead and make our score lines. We're going to turn our cardstock and we're going to score it at 3 3/8. Now, I want to remind you where 3/8 is. That is just right here. It is 1/8 before 1/2, and that's how I remember it. So 3 3/8, we're going to line it up. We're going to score it, and now we just need to score it on the other side as well. So I'm just going to turn it over, line it up at 3/8, and then I'm going to score it one more time. And now the magic begins. I'm going to show you how to cut this angle right here and right here very easily. Now, we need to go ahead and take this card out first. Let's go ahead, use our bone folder and give it a good crease on both sides so that we can really see those crease lines. And now we're going to put our card into our trimmer and we're going to line up this score line right here in the canal. Make sure it's right in the canal. And now we're just going to swivel our card until we come to the 1.5 inch line right there. So I have swiveled that point to the 1.5 inch mark. I'm going to hold that and I'm going to make sure that my score line is right in the canal, right where I want it to be. I'm going to close it and I'm going to slice. Now let's go ahead and stay on this side of the card. Let's put this point in the canal and swivel this bottom point to the 1 inch mark, which is right there. So we're putting our cut point into the canal, making sure it's lined up perfectly. We're lining up the bottom with the 1 inch. We're going to close it and we're going to slice. Now look at this. We have our perfectly cut flap. Let's do that same thing to the other side. Let's go ahead and put our score line in the canal and let's rotate this top point to 1.5. So let's just rotate it until we come to 1.5. There's the 1.5 line. I'm going to make sure I have that score line in the canal and slice. And this makes it so easy. You don't have to get your ruler out. You don't have to make your little tick marks. Now, if you want to do that, stay with us till the end because we have something for you. Now, this time we're going to put our point in the canal, and we're just going to rotate it until we get to 1, making sure that the bottom point is at 1. This point, the top point, is in the canal, and slice. Now let's look at our card. Look at that. We have a perfectly folded, flat, angled gatefold. So we took our card, we made 4 cuts, we're on step 2, and now we're moving into step 3. We're just going to decorate it. So what we need to do, we need to get some designer series paper or patterned paper. And I selected this beautiful set of Mediterranean blue. It has some absolutely fabulous patterned paper. And I cut myself these mats, and these mats are 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. Notice how it's on the same paper. But remember, I want to cut one of them slanted this way, right? And I want to cut the other one slanted the opposite way. Let me show you a trick to do that. I'm just going to take my 2 mats that I cut, and I'm going to flip one over. And that'll just be cutting it on the opposite side, which is exactly what I need. So once again, we're going to use the same cuts. We're going to put this corner into the canal, and then we're going to rotate this corner to 1 1/2. So let's just see where that is. There's 1 1/2. That's in the corner. And slice. The next thing we want to do is put this corner in our canal and put the bottom point at 1 and slice. Now let's take a moment. We're going to line this paper up perfectly. And we line this one up. And there we have our mats. So let's go ahead and lay them down. Now it's important when you're doing this, you can cut the mats separately, but if you want to save some time, you could go ahead and put them together. Just turn them upside down. Flip them so that you have opposite sides, which is exactly what you need. Because this one cuts down from the right to the left, and this one cuts from the left to the right. So that's why we flip them. Just going to set this in just like this. And there we have it. Now what we need to do is let's go ahead and get the inside of our card. We're just going to lay it down. Let's go ahead and decorate it just a little bit. Now I'm going to stamp happy birthday, and I am using this beautiful stamp set, Birthday Celebration. And I'm going to stamp birthday, and then I'm going to stamp happy on top. I'm going to bring in my Night of Navy to do that. Just going to tap, tap, tap. Make sure I have enough ink on it. I'm going to bring this right in the bottom, right in the middle. I'm going to put it over to the right, I think. Look how pretty that is. I'm going to stamp happy, tap, tap, tap. Just going to line it up right here. Now I'm going to add a few flowers on the inside, and I'm going to use Melon Mambo. Let's get that inked up. Look at those cute flowers. Oh, so cute. Now let's go ahead and lay this down right in the center of our card. And you can see how quickly this comes together. Okay, so we have this close. Now all we need to do is create our belly band. That's how quickly it's created. So we're just going to put our belly band behind our card. We're going to get it evenly placed on both sides. We're going to fold it over. Line it up, bring in our bone folder, give it a good crease. And I'm going to use a tape runner. Comes on and off. You don't want to do it so tight that it won't come on and off. And now we need to decorate the front, and let me show you how we're going to do that. We are using this adorable stamp set. Bright borders, oh my goodness, love it. And I am going to stamp, and I want to show you another tip. When you have a frame like this, if you just put it down here, it might not be exactly straight. So let me show you the tip that we do. We just lay it down, we line it up, and then snap it onto our acrylic block. And that way we know that it's going to be in the right position. And that's particularly important for this one because we have a punch for it and we want to make sure it's the exact size. So I'm going to bring in my Night of Navy. Tap, tap, tap. And here's my Melon Mambo, and I'm just going to put a little color on these flowers. Now I'm going to bring in my punch. I'm just going to line this up. And look how pretty that is. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. Now we want to make sure and stamp Make-A-Wish on here because it's a birthday card. So I went ahead and I'm from the same stamp set, I'm going to use Make-A-Wish. And I think I will stamp that in, I think I'm just going to stick with the Night of Navy. I was going to stamp it in Melon Mambo, but no, tap, tap, tap. I want to stamp it in Night of Navy. Look how pretty that is. So pretty. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add just a little bit of color to our belly band. I'm going to bring in some Night of Navy, just a little strip. Get that lined up. We're just going to put a little Melon Mambo right here in the center. I'm going to add a few dimensionals right here in the center to pop it up. And now let's just put this right on the center of our belly band or card wrap, whichever you prefer. Now look at that. Very simple, very quick, very easy. Just love this. You take off the card wrap or the belly band, and there you have the inside decorated as well. And you can put this, whichever side you want on top, you can go ahead and do that as well. But this is an easy card that can just be used for any occasion, and we just love it. Now, stay with us to the end because we have some jazzed up cards that we think you might like as well. Let's go ahead and make our next card. Now, our next card, we are going to use this beautiful stamp set, beautiful butterflies, and we are using this embossing folder that embosses and cuts at the same time. You are going to love that. So the first thing we want to do, of course, is cut our card. So let's bring in our trimmer, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut this at 5.5. We're going to turn it and score it at 3 3/8. Going to move our cutting blade out of the way. We're just going to take out the cardstock, turn it around, and score it at 3 3/8 on the other side. Now we need our trimmer, right? Because we're going to cut our angles. But let's go ahead and give this a good crease so that we can really see those score lines. Okay. Now remember, we're going to make 4 cut lines. We're going to open up our card, and we're using this first score line. We're going to place it in the canal. Once you place it in the canal, rotate your card until this top corner right here finds 1.5. Now you can put it this way if you want, find 1.5, and then rotate your card to where your score line is in the canal. Either way, you just need your score line in the canal, and you need to have this top point at 1.5. Once you have that, slice. Now keep it right there and put that point in the canal and rotate or swivel till you come to 1 inch right there. Make sure everything is in place and slice. And there we have our first flap. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Go ahead and find your score line. We're going to put it in the canal. Swivel your card until this point comes to 1.5. So just keep moving it around until it comes to 1.5. Make sure your score line is right there in the canal and slice. Put this point, this is our final cut. Put this point in the canal, swivel to 1, and slice. And now we have our card. That's how easy it is. Look how perfectly that was cut. Those diagonals are just perfect. But now we want to decorate it, right? We need to get our paper. And we decided on this beautiful pattern paper. You know I love stripes, right? Okay, let's line up our papers. We have this one, and we have this one. And now we're just going to glue them down. Now on the inside, we're going to go ahead and do a couple mats. Let's lay this one down just to bring in and coordinate all our colors together. We are going to stamp Make-A-Wish on the inside of this one as well because it's a birthday card. Let's bring in our Night of Navy. Tap, tap, tap. Put it right at the bottom. Let's lay that down. So we have our card. We're going to lay it flat just like this, and we're going to bring in our belly band. Now remember, we're going to center the card, and then we're going to bring our belly band around. Just like that. Going to give it a good crease. And let's go ahead and add some tape right here. And now I want to show you what we are going to do with this. Now, all you have to do to get this to emboss and cut is take a piece of paper. You're going to grab your die and you're going to put it right on this. And it just locks itself in place so you don't have to worry about it. And you can just use a scrap piece of paper and just get it lined up perfectly to where it covers. Or if you want to get a bigger piece of paper so you don't have to mess with it so much, you can do that. But I have this scrap piece of paper. And so I'm just going to push down. Now you can secure this with tape if you don't want to mess with it, not to worry. But this is flexible. So you can just get that in place and then put it down just like this and run it through the machine. And when you do that, you open it up and you're going to come out with your butterfly already embossed. Now what we've done to this one is we just added the little body right on top of it. That die comes with the bundle, and it is so pretty. But all we need to do now is just add a little bit of decoration. So let's go ahead and add this granny apple or light green to the front of our belly band or our wrap. That just makes it so much more colorful. Now we're going to add our beautiful butterfly right on top with some dimensionals. So I like to go ahead, you can put them on the belly band or you can put them across on the butterfly. Doesn't matter. Just going to add this right here. And now I stamped Happy Birthday. We're just going to lay this right across the middle of our butterfly. And we made sure that it was thin so that you could still see the butterfly. And I'm just going to set it up using some mini dimensionals. And look at how pretty that looks. So easy to do. Let's just look at these cards again. Not hard, but oh my goodness, they're so pretty. They're so unique. It's just a little different than your regular gatefold. Just brings a little surprise to the recipient. Do me a favor, take a moment, leave a comment. Which of these are your favorite? Are you just in love with the butterflies or do you like this punch? I just love that punch. And let me show you the rest of our cards that we jazzed up just a little bit. Now look at this one. We double matted it. You can tell that we double matted it right here. Thinking of you, we added some flowers. Take the belly band off, open it up. And we stamped some flowers and cut them out and put them right here on the inside. So you can doll it up, jazz it up a little bit. And then we also did this one. Oh my goodness, love this one. We used just this crazy pattern paper that we have. You take it off. We did the double matting again and stamped the inside and also stamped a beautiful flower and colored it. So you have lots of options. So take a moment and let us know which is your favorite. Well, now remember I said stick around because we have something for you. We have a free download. So head on over to creativemomentsbyg.com, click on my blog, and then you will see this card, and all you have to do is click PDF, and you'll be able to download. Now, this download shows you how to measure with a ruler, make your tick marks, and cut. Well, Monty and I sure appreciate you spending time with us today, and we hope that you were inspired by this angled gatefold. So take a moment, subscribe, share, and like, and help us grow. We sure would appreciate it. Well, until next time, Monty and I wish you lots of creative moments. Bye-bye.